I want you to take something into great consideration. Daniel 8:23 says, "In the latter time of their kingdom, when the transgressors are come to the full, a king of fierce countenance and understanding dark sentences shall stand up, and his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power, and he shall destroy wonderfully, and shall prosper, and practice, and shall destroy the mighty and the holy people. And through his policy also he shall cause craft or deceit to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many. He shall also stand up against the Prince of Princes, but he shall be broken without hand." And that's by Jesus Christ, by the brightness of his coming when he comes, and by the breath of his mouth. Okay? So check this out in verse 23. "A king of fierce countenance and understanding dark sentences." Understanding dark sentences. Okay? What does that mean? Understanding dark sentences. Well, it has ties to the occult and witchcraft, because it also says that he shall prosper and practice. Practice refers to the practicing of witchcraft. Okay? And we can go into depth on some of these words, and I can show you that it is indeed witchcraft. "So a king of fierce countenance and understanding dark sentences shall stand up."
So think of it, in this horrible period, this horrible, dark period where this monster came and worked its horrible spell over the world. 184 countries as of this morning. 184 countries. Something good going to happen. I really believe that. There's something very good going to happen. We have to get back. So think of it, in this horrible period, this horrible, dark period where this monster came and worked its horrible spell over the world. 184 countries.
"A king of fierce countenance and understanding dark sentences shall stand up, and his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power. And he shall destroy wonderfully, and shall prosper and practice, and shall destroy the mighty and the holy people. And through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart."
That to it, and they had a lot of other things to it. So somebody had to do it. I am the chosen one. Somebody had to do it. So I'm taking on China. I'm taking on China on trade. Somebody had to do it. I am the chosen one. Somebody had to do it. So I'm taking on China. I'm taking on China on trade. And you know what? We're winning. I am the chosen one. Somebody had to do it.
"He shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many. And he shall also stand up against the Prince of Princes, but he shall be broken without hand." And in Revelation 18, it says that at the end here, talking about Mystery Babylon, which is the nation in which the beast rules from. The Antichrist rules from Mystery Babylon. It says that "for by your sorceries were all the nations deceived." Sorceries. By your sorceries, all the nations were deceived. And that word sorceries is the same word, pharmakia, and which is witchcraft. Check it out. It says, and an host was given him against the daily sacrifice by reason of transgression, and it cast down truth to the ground, and it practiced and prospered. It's talking about the little horn. This is talking about the Antichrist. This is Daniel 8:12. It cast down truth to the ground, and it practiced and prospered. So check this out.
Can you give us a chance to ask a question, sir?
Go ahead.
Sir,
Quiet. Quiet.
Mr. President-elect.
Go ahead.
Can you
She's
state
asking a question. Don't be rude.
President-elect, can you give us a question?
Don't be
You're
rude.
attacking us. Can you give us a question?
Don't be rude.
Can you
No, I'm
give
not
us a
going to give you a
question?
question. I'm not going to give you a question.
Can you state categorically?
You are fake news.
Sir,
go ahead.
Can you state categorically that nobody... No, Mr. President-elect, that's not
Go ahead.
appropriate.
The intelligence agencies allowed any information that turned out to be so false and fake out. I think it's a disgrace. And
respectfully, sir, you're the president, and people tuning into these briefings, they want to get information and guidance and want to know what to do. They're not looking for rumors.
I'm the president, and you're fake news. And you know what I'll say to you? I'll say very nicely, I know you well. I know you well.
Guidance and want to know what to do. They're not looking for rumors.
I'm the president, and you're fake news. And you know what I'll say to you?
I want you all to know that we are fighting the fake news. It's fake, phony, fake.
In order to understand the end times and end time prophecy, we must look at Scripture concerning, all Scripture concerning end time prophecy. The most crucial right now that I want to focus on is the book of Daniel and the book of Revelations. This is in Daniel 7, Scripture records the first dream that Daniel had while in captivity in Babylon. At this time, the children of Israel were in captivity in Babylon, and Daniel has a dream. This is the same Daniel that was cast in the lion's den, and God sent an angel to shut the mouths of the lions, the hungry lions, and he was in that den all night. And the king came. It was Nebuchadnezzar. Nebuchadnezzar came, and he the next morning, and Daniel was still alive. He hollered out to him, "Daniel, was your God able to save you?" And he hollered back, "He was." And Daniel came walking out, and so the king, he threw the men that locked him up in there, that gave the false report against him, he threw them in the lion's den. And before they even hit the bottom, those lions consumed them. Anyways, this is Daniel's first dream while in captivity. And we can pick it up in verse 2. Daniel spake and said, because the way that it happened is there were scribes, and scribes recorded, they wrote down what people spoke. And so Daniel, he spake and said, I saw my vision by night, and behold, the four winds of heaven strove upon the great sea, and four great beasts came up from the sea, diverse one from another. The first was like a lion, and had eagle's wings. I beheld till the wings thereof were plucked, and it was lifted up from the earth, and made stand upon the feet as a man, and a man's heart was given to it. And behold, another beast, a second, like to a bear, and it raised up itself on one side, and it had 3 ribs in its mouth, in the mouth of it, between the teeth of it. And they said thus unto it, Arise, devour much flesh. After this I beheld, and lo, another, like a leopard, which had upon the back of it 4 wings of a fowl. The beast had also 4 heads, and dominion was given to it. After this I saw in the night visions, and behold, a 4th beast, dreadful and terrible, and strong exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth. It devoured and brake in pieces, and stamped the residue with the feet of it, and was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns. I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them another little horn, before whom there were 3 of the first horns plucked up by the roots. And behold, in this horn were eyes like the eyes of a man, and a mouth speaking great things. That's the Antichrist. That's what the book of Revelations calls the Antichrist, or also the book of Thessalonians, or the man of sin, the man of lawlessness. Okay, that is the end-time king over the end-time 4th beast of this dream. Okay. He's also the little horn. I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool. His throne was like fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire. A fiery stream issued and came forth from before him. Thousands ministered unto him, and 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him. The judgment was set, and the books were opened. I beheld then, because of the voice of the great words which the horn spake, that little horn, I beheld even till the beast was slain, and his body destroyed, and given to the burning flame, like the lake of fire, as spoken of in Revelations. As concerning the rest of the beasts, they had their dominion taken away, yet their lives were prolonged for a season and time. I saw in the night visions, and behold, one like the Son of Man, with clouds of heaven, and came to the Ancient of Days, and they brought him near before him, and there were given him dominion, and glory, and a kingdom, that all people, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion, which shall not pass away, and his kingdom, that which shall not be destroyed, is that which shall not be destroyed. I, Daniel, was grieved in my spirit in the midst of my body, and the visions of my head troubled me. I came near unto one of them that stood by, and asked him the truth of all this. So he told me, and made me know the interpretation of the things. These great beasts which are 4 kings, which shall arise out of the earth. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever and ever and ever and ever. That's a very key point to understand here, is that the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. Okay? Then I would know the truth of the 4th beast, which was diverse from all others, exceeding dreadful, whose teeth were of iron, and his nails of brass, which devoured, brake in pieces, and stamped the residue with its feet. And of the 10 horns that were in his head, and of the other which came up, and before whom 3 fell, even of that horn that had eyes, and a mouth that spake very great things, whose look was more stout than his fellows. I beheld, and the same horn made war with the saints, and prevailed against them. That's a very key thing to understand, is that the Antichrist in the end times will make war with the saints and prevail against them until the Ancient of Days came, and judgment was given to the saints of the Most High, and the time came that the saints possessed the kingdom. That's how long it'll go on for, until Jesus returns, until the King returns and establishes his everlasting kingdom. Verse 23, Thus he said, The fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon earth, which shall be diverse from all kingdoms, and shall devour the whole earth, and shall tread it down and break it in pieces. And the 10 horns out of this kingdom are 10 kings that shall arise, and another shall arise after them, and he shall be diverse from the first, and he shall subdue 3 kings, and he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and shall think to change times and laws, and they shall be given into his hand, that's the saints, until a time and times and the dividing of times. That reference is used in the book of Revelations to denote the time of the tribulation and the reign of the Antichrist, the 42-month reign of the Antichrist. But the judgment shall sit, and they shall take away his dominion, to consume and to destroy it until the end. The saints shall take away his dominion, to consume and to destroy it unto the end. That's until Jesus returns. And the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominions shall serve and obey him. That is the king. Hitherto is the end of the matter. As for me, Daniel, my cogitations much troubled me, and my countenance changed in me, but I kept the matter in my heart. He didn't go around telling everybody. He kept this private because it troubled him so much whenever he received this. And this is the first of many visions concerning the end times that God revealed to him. And this is just one of the many chapters. Chapter 8 goes on, and it's another vision. And out of one of them came forth a little horn, which waxed exceeding great toward the south, and toward the east, and toward the pleasant land. Why do you think Trump is so highly recognized in Israel? Why do you think he recognized Jerusalem as Israel? It waxed great even to the host of heaven, and it cast down some of the host and of the stars to the ground, and stamped upon them. What does it say about the dragon? That his tail draws a third of the stars and hurls them to the ground? Yea, he magnified himself even to the prince of the host, and by him the daily sacrifice was taken away, and the place of his sanctuary was cast down. And an host was given him against the daily sacrifice by reason of transgression, and it cast down the truth to the ground, and it practiced and prospered. Then I heard one saint speaking, and another saint said unto that certain saint which spake, How long shall be the vision concerning the daily sacrifice and the transgression of desolation, to give both the sanctuary and the host to be trodden under foot? And he said unto me, Unto 2,300 days, 2,300 days, then shall the sanctuary be cleansed. 2,300 days is just short of 7 years. And it came to pass, when I, even Daniel, had seen the vision, and sought for the meaning, then behold, there stood before me as the appearance of a man. And I heard a man's voice between the banks of Ulai, which called and said, Gabriel, make this man understand the vision. So he came near where I stood, and when he came, I was afraid, and fell upon my face. But he said unto me, Understand, O son of man, for at the time of the end shall be the vision. It wasn't for his time, it was for the time of the end. Now as he was speaking with me, I was in a deep sleep on my face toward the ground, but he touched me and set me upright. And he said, Behold, I will make thee know what shall be in the last end of the indignation, for at the time appointed the end shall be. It's for an appointed time. The ram which you saw having 2 horns are the kings of Media and Persia, and the rough goat is the king of Grecia, and the great horn that is between his eyes is the first king. Now that being broken, whereas 4 stood up before it, 4 kingdoms shall stand up out of the nation, but not in his power. And in the latter time of their kingdom, when the transgressors are come to the full, a king of fierce countenance and understanding dark sentences shall stand up, and his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power, and he shall destroy wonderfully, and shall prosper and practice, and shall destroy the mighty and the holy people. And through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in and by peace shall destroy many. He shall also stand up against the prince of princes, but shall be broken without hand. And the vision of the evening and the morning was told as true, wherefore shut up the vision, for it shall be for many days. Not for this time, shut it up. And then we have Daniel 9, and Daniel 9 goes into it. And look, it says 70 weeks are determined upon your people and upon the holy city to finish the transgressions and to make an end of sins and to make reconciliation for iniquity and to bring in everlasting righteousness and to seal up the visions and prophecy and to anoint the most holy. This is the reason for these times. It's to finish the transgression and to make an end of sins and to make reconciliation for iniquity and to bring in everlasting righteousness and to seal up the visions and prophecy. This is to seal them up and to anoint the most holy. Know therefore and understand that from the going forth of the commandment to restore and to rebuild Jerusalem unto the Messiah the Prince shall be 7 weeks and 62 weeks. The street shall be built again, and the wall, even in troublous times. Troublous times. And it goes on. Okay? And after 62 weeks shall Messiah be cut off, but not for himself. And the people of the prince that shall come shall destroy the city and the sanctuary, and the end thereof shall be with a flood. And unto the end of the war desolations are determined. There will be a war. And he shall confirm the covenant with many for 1 week. And in the middle of the week he shall cause the sanctuary and the oblation to cease. And for the overspreading of abominations he shall make it desolate, even until the consummation, and that determined shall be poured out upon the desolate. Talking about the Antichrist. He's going to confirm a covenant with many for 1 week, and in the middle, which prophetically speaking here is referring to 7 years. And in the middle of the week, halfway through the tribulation period, he shall break that covenant. He will break it and cause the abomination of desolation. There's another, I think it was in Daniel 12 is good too. At that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt. It's speaking of the time of the resurrection. That's the time of the return of Jesus Christ. He returns in the power of the resurrection. And they that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament, and they that turn many to righteousness shall shine as the stars forever and ever. See, and that verse deserves highlighting. And the reason for it is because there is a figure of speech there. And the figure of speech is called addition through omission. It leaves out and allows the reader to supply that which is omitted, which was previously put in. And what I mean by that is that it actually says that, and they that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament, and they that turn many to righteousness as the stars forever and ever. And that last part doesn't really make sense unless you apply that which was left out from the first half, which is the word shall shine, which is the two words shall shine. When you put shall shine in front of righteousness, it reads, and they that turn many to righteousness shall shine as the stars forever and ever. Because making a comparison, they that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament, and they that turn many to righteousness shall shine as the stars forever and ever. And it's a figure of speech designed to put emphasis on this verse. This verse is key to God's people in these times. Because that's good news right there. Look at how good news that is. But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words, and seal the book even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. And that's exactly what's going on. Next thing we'll be taking into consideration is Revelation 12 and the great sign. Peace.